So that's where the comment should go. Hello, everybody. Who's here?
Guys.
Is anybody here? And tell me where you're at, because we're trying something new.
Yep.
I don't see anybody showing up, baby. I'm getting worried.
Baby, you just turned it on.
I know. I know. And it's got to talk to everybody. So what we've done is we should be broadcasting not just on our Facebook Live page or our general Facebook page, but we should also be broadcasting on Periscope, Twitch, and YouTube.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Those are the three, I think.
I don't see anybody. I'm getting scared. Anybody there? Please type in. Oh, that's YouTube. 0.
Should I go on my computer?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and check. Exit full screen. I don't know what's going on. Please be.
So this would be in the True Believers?
No, it would not be in the True Believers.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to stop.
Going to the bell raise.
Oh, wait, I see.
It's there.
You see it? All right. Is it just in YouTube or is it in Facebook too? You see it in. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm not stopping. I didn't stop.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, so the thing that we can't see the eyeballs, but if you guys put comments in here, we can see you. Hello. Oh, somebody's asking about Driver 3. So this is not the Q&A. This is our show where we do this is kind of our little rock show that we do. Our Q&As are the first and
third Mondays.
Right, first and third Mondays, and
in the True Believers.
True Believers group.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was yesterday. It was just me yesterday doing it. At least it was on a online thing, and so it was just me yesterday. It's up there. It was quite uneventful, unless you count my phone overheating and turning off right in the middle of it. Event.
Yeah.
Then it was quite eventful.
Right.
But.
So what we do here, for those of you that have never seen, if you're fans of the Bell Rays and you've seen us play live, obviously you know Bob and I are part of the Bell Rays and have been since its inception more than 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But we also we go over our enormous wealth of songs, originals that we do.
Tons of songs.
We do one original here on, it used to be, we did it, once a week?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to doing it once a month on this page and once a month on the True Believers page.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we're going to be doing these live streams from now on. So we'll see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But what we wanted to be able to do is just hit some of these other platforms. And it looks like the people that I'm seeing comments from right now are actually from no, that's not what I want to do. This looks like it's all YouTube. And I know that can't be the only people that are giving comments.
I saw it on Facebook. That's
private chat. What the heck is that? No, I don't want private chat. I just want to be able to talk to. Can't post messages at some. Well, it's just going to have some hiccups and starts and stuff like that because it won't let me actually. It won't actually let me show everything.
Now I see one.
It says follow us on
one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. We'll see how it works. Giving you guys just a little bit of time to kind of chime in for us to talk about what's coming up. We've got what's really cool is we've got our show coming up, our live show.
Mm-hmm.
It should be showing up on our Facebook page.
Full band live show.
Well, I'm sorry. Bob's skipping over what I'm talking about. So
go ahead.
That's not what I mean. I'm talking about our monthly Patreon show.
Yay.
That is coming up. We just made an event for it through Facebook events. If you're a Patreon patron, it's already included in your fee. For everybody that paid last month. For everyone else, you have the option of joining that that show this Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific. So that's 8 o'clock East Coast time.
Yep.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Yeah. I feel like I'm missing a lot of. Oh, Jen is here. All right. There's our first Facebook comment. Awesome. All right. Good to see you, Jen.
Yep.
So glad that you actually chimed in, because that's usually where we see all of our chat coming from.
Right.
So it's kind of odd not to see anything, but this is the first time that we're doing it through Restream. So just want to reiterate that as many times as I actually need to reiterate it. So now we can go ahead and go on with the show.
Yeah, I guess so.
You want to talk about the song, baby?
This is another oldie in a series of oldies that we've been doing lately. I want to say this is on In the Light of the Sun.
I think so.
Is it? I think it's on In the Light of the Sun. And it's a song called "You Better Find a Way," and it is. I wrote this song, I think, while we were living on campus. Probably 92, I would imagine. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, probably.
Something like that. Something 91, 92.
On campus at University of California.
At the
Riverside.
University of California, Riverside. Beautiful UC Riverside. When we were living in married student housing, in our cool little house that has they've all been obliterated. It is not married student housing anymore.
Yeah.
So it's well, the house is gone. The song is here. And it was, I wrote the song. I like, there's certain elements of this song that I like, and there's other stuff that I thought, how did I ever let this leave the barn? I think is
that being critical of it?
Yeah, it's like, how did I, it needs something else. It's not really done. And it's probably just me. It's probably me just thinking that. It has some I like a lot of the lines in it. I like a lot of the imagery and stuff. The chorus, I don't know. I've never been a big fan. I know a lot of people like this one. I think Lisa likes it. I just don't think it went far enough. It didn't fulfill the promise of the rest of the song.
It inspired other songs, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I always think about anytime you have a song that is, I don't know if that really landed where I wanted it to land. The thing that I love about songwriting is that you can always give it another try.
Mm-hmm.
You can give it and it's not that you give it the same try. Sometimes it's just that emotional conduit is not really what I don't know. You can't really just keep delving into that and trying to find the words. Sometimes you can,
right?
But other times it feels like you're languishing. So you got to move on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in those times, you've definitely delivered on the next attempt at whatever it was that you were disappointed with. I like this song. I don't have any problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's about a relationship where, you're sort of figuring out your way of being in the relationship, finding out, okay, well, am I going to carry this with me through this whole thing? Or am I going to jettison it? Do I need to jettison it? Do I need to carry it with me? Is it part of what makes me, me? Is it part of, or can I let go and still have the things that I like about me? It's pretty much about that. And how many times are you going to go through this inventory until you realize, okay, I need to stop either taking inventory or I need to stop having things to inventory. You know, it gets to a certain point, and that's when there's a bridge, the what are we doing part. That's what that's about. And like I said, I liked a lot of the imagery that I pulled up in here. I thought it was pretty cool. So that's what I have for it. And I started off trying to write, won't get fooled again or something like that. That's what when you hear the opening riff, you'll know what I was trying to do. And it just went, when I hit it the third or fourth time, it just went to this B minor chord. It was like, oh, and it just sort of went, it curved into a not who territory. But I like that riff. That riff is something that I've really tried to do multiple times. Like Lisa said, working a song that I didn't think was complete. I always like that riff, and I've tried 25 times to build another song around it or something close to it, and this is still a league better than any of my subsequent ideas.
Good job, baby.
Thank you.
I think. This song was a staple back in the day when we were still trying to figure out what we were. And I think that's part of the whole discovery of how to write a song, how to finish the song, how to know whether it's ready or not. And we just had to just keep evolving. Mm-hmm. And I really like that about us as a band, is that we took it farther than probably most people would to discover ourselves. Yeah. And we're still discovering ourselves. We're still trying new stuff. I think it's a superpower.
Yeah. Personally,
I think our ability to just keep looking inward and not be worried about what other people think is important.
When you're doing bands, at least when we're doing bands, I can only speak from personal experience, but I know lots of people who, they're great songwriters and everything, and they start a band and they're in the band for 2 months and then they quit it and they start another band.
Right.
And then they, 2 months later, they start another band. And it's like, you wonder what they're trying to get at. Is it just a personality clash, or are they trying to get at something musically? And I always thought that the Bell Rays I was trying to get something musically with the Bell Rays. I mean, when we started off, it was the Rose Thorns, but we decided to, okay, this is going somewhere else than the Rose Thorns was. So it needed a name change.
We thought it needed a name change.
And it ended up.
I'm still debating that 30 years after the fact, but
it's one of those things where, okay, the Beatles did Beatles 65 and then they did Rubber Soul. Do you need to change the name of the band because it's a completely different direction, But I have always thought that, okay, you're doing the band because you want to have this band grow. You want to have it go somewhere. You want to have it do something. And I've just thought, changing the name of the band every time you change personnel is self-defeating.
Well, there's that. There's the changing the personnel and changing the name, which I don't think is really necessary. But at the time, I feel like that was feeding into what we were doing.
Right.
Let's talk about name changes for a really quick second, because there are bands that have done that where I feel like they have suffered because of it. They have lost a lot of their the thing that's the hardest for a band to look for is the people that are going to come out and see you because they remember you. Great case in point for me are the Gadgets, who eventually became the Architects. That name, the Gadgets, was in there, and a lot of money went into getting that name out there. And as soon as they changed it, even though to me, the quality of songs, the kind of performance, the type of band that they were, actually excelled, the name change kind of hurt. For us, I feel like if we would have kept the name the Rose Thorns, many more people would know who we were. Yeah. Not necessarily because the name was so great. It's because it's a name that you can actually glom onto.
Right.
People know what a rose is. People know what a thorn is. It has that whole, sweet and hard kind of thing going for it. The bell raise is something that has to be explained. And we didn't understand that the rest of the world was getting dumber as we were trying to be much more intellectual than we were too smart for our own good, I think, in a lot of these cases. And I think in creative form, this is where the record industry is actually trying to help artists. If that's a thing, if that's not an oxymoron or something weird like that. This is where they're actually trying to, at least back then, they're trying to say, hey, we need something for you to connect to so that it's easy for us to go and give a message. Because we didn't have this kind of contact that we have now, where you can do a Facebook ad and get somebody who is a like-minded person that's listening to what you do and say, oh, they're probably going to like this. The whole philosophy was just throw it up against the wall and see what sticks. And also a lot of other prejudices and other sexist things that are going on in that as well. But mostly it was about trying to market the way that you could market, and bands trying to grow themselves in the same way that the Beatles were able to grow themselves, or the way that any band that came out prior to 1985 was able to grow themselves. Was really a different world. Thriller and Michael Jackson and all that stuff changed the playing field, because then you had so many record labels that were just in it for, that level of achievement. And they thought they also took for granted and thought it was going to always be there. Right. So, those are the things that kind of get in the way of that way of thinking. So I don't know. That's what I have to say about it. We are, just to reiterate, we are currently broadcasting on Periscope, YouTube, as well as Facebook at the moment. So
Instagram too, or no?
Not Instagram.
Not Instagram. Okay.
Bob was just erasing everything that I took the time to tell him before we actually got together.
To me,
but I actually did say that we are not able to broadcast on Instagram. So, but through Periscope, we are supposed to be broadcasting through Twitter. All right, let's play this song.
All right.
There's a world deep inside. Don't try to be the one who tries to run and hide. There's a river flowing to a different world. What would you do if that river carried me? Oh, what are we doing? Are we going through all this again? What are we doing? Fighting goes on without relief. You'd give it up if it meant defeating me. The touch and go that made us such a perfect edge sharpened us both until we cut ourselves instead. So, what are we doing? Are we going through all this again? What are we doing? Inspiration. You gotta find a way to love me. Inspiration. You better find a way to love me. You better find a way. Oh, you better find a way. You better find a way, yeah. You better find a way. fighting goes on without relief. You'd give it up if it meant defeating me. The touch and go that made us such a perfect edge sharpened us both until we caught ourselves instead. So what are we doing? Are we going through all this again? What are we doing? Inspiration, you better find a way to love me. Inspiration, you better find a way. Oh, better find a way to love me. Inspiration, you better find a way. You better find a way. Yeah. You better find a way. Yeah. You better find it. Oh, you better find a way. Wow.
You'd better find a way.
I hope the sound came out okay.
I better find a way to tune this guitar.
I know. I know. Andy says, what the fuck? No comments today? Where are all you believers? Good question, Andy. Yeah, I don't know. Pua's here. Hello. My sister Pua just had a baby yesterday.
Big news of the day.
She just had a baby.
Just had a baby.
Little Alan K. Collin, named after my dad. Our dad.
Yep.
So love that. I love it, love it, love it. Pua said she loves the harmonies. So I hope you guys can hear everything okay. That's really great. Oh, Sequin World. So I know you have to be watching from Twitter. So what we did, everybody, we are broadcasting from YouTube, Twitter, Twitter via Periscope, Twitch. I don't know if I actually got that right. And Facebook. But I'm not sure how it's all happening. But I'm hoping it's all happening. Pua says it's sounding great.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Yay.
That's great. The other thing that we want to promote is this is the only one on this page this month. This is the chance. So tell your friends, share this with your friends, and tell them that, you know, this is what they're doing once a month on their Facebook page, and you can catch it on their Twitter feed and on Twitch and on YouTube. You can catch these shows here, but we are changing up our complete lineup. This is once a month. We'll do another one mid-month, and that will be on the True Believers page. It will be at the same time, on the third Monday. Third Tuesday. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Third Tuesday.
Third Tuesday.
Third
Tuesday.
The third one.
Jen says, bravo.
The third Tuesday.
Andy says, cool song. That's awesome.
Yep.
We had some other people. Sequin World says, I love the Bell Rays. Walter says, thank you, Lisa and Bob. Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. You guys are welcome. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read this language, but it says, tell more about Driver 3 for music. So if you want to find out questions and Q&As, please join us. Join our group. We're a little behind on letting people in because it's just been one of those weeks, but everything's switching and moving and changing. We're moving in the night. We're making things happen. So I'm super excited today because I get to go see my niece and nephew who live in Hawaii. They're going to be here. They're hours away from being here. So
they're in the air, probably.
I hope. They got to be.
I think so.
It's a long flight.
Yeah.
It's a long flight from here to California. So thank you guys so much for being here for our changes and moving and doing all this stuff to make life more musical.
Yep. More music everywhere.
Excuse me. Super happy about this. We are broadcasting through Restream, a new platform for us. So we're so glad to hear that you could hear everything. That was our main concern. But the other weird thing, if it looks strange to you or looks different, is that we are filming on a computer now.
Yeah, using your laptop.
We're back to using a laptop.
Camera.
We've just been running into too many problems with chat and not being able to read comments, trying to do it through our phone or even through the iPad. I think a lot of things are changing from app usage to using the actual Chrome or Safari, using an actual web browser. So I think we're able to do a little bit more for these shows by doing it this way. But we are so happy to have you here, happy to be here ourselves, happy to be able to read these comments, happy to be able to see. We're so grateful to have people from our Twitter feed and from our Facebook feed and from YouTube. We're trying to make our lives just really count.
Yep.
We're trying to make them count. So the other thing I'm going to see what we can do next is if we can have the feed actually running from our actual web page with our whichever way we do this. So I'm learning something new all the time. My brain is exploding. Right as we're speaking, my brain is exploding. So exploding
brain.
Last thing, show June 5th. It is our rock show that is normally just for our patrons. We are opening it up for some of you people out there that would like to see it. It is an $8 or $7.99. $7.99. You'll see it in the group. It should be in here. I was going to see if I could actually grab the URL. Copy. Maybe I can actually put it in there and put it right here. That looks awful. It looks awful, but that's the event.
Click on that.
Yeah. So that's rock show for patrons. Patronios. It says Sonny Dean from the Little Guitar Army.
Oh, rock on.
Let me see. How do I do this? Rock show.
For those of you who don't know the Little Guitar Army,
patrons.
It's one of the cooler things you'll ever see if you get to see it. It's amazing. They play little guitars, like half-scale guitars and half-scale amps.
And they're great guitars because they have a
Yeah.
luthier in the band
Yeah,
that makes sure that stuff is not a joke.
they're amazing. They're really cool, and it. If you weren't seeing it, you'd never know they were tiny guitars, and they are tiny guitars, tiny amps, regular-sized people.
Sorry.
Cool songs. They rock the whole show.
They did. It was
Yeah.
really fun. Let me one more chance to get this. Ooh, low battery. Do you know if we can see the Saturday show later on? Yes, you will be able to see the Saturday show later on. You do not have to be there live. We are simply changing it so that we can do a live show.
Right.
We're giving Facebook a shot, at doing what they do. Oh, where's this fucking thing? No. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's going to let me do anything shorter than that. I think that's it.
Okay.
I'll try putting it in one more time, but I think it's still going to be pretty ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah, it's still ridiculous. Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully you guys can find it and get in there and enjoy. Okay. So everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh. Or don't forget to share this. Don't forget, you can always give us PayPal. What is it? Not PayPal. Facebook stars. Facebook stars. I love stars. So leave some stars here.
Yep. You can go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/thebellrays. You can go to our PayPal.
We got a Patreon.
PayPal.me/thebellrays.
$5.
Venmo at the Bell Rays. Cash App, $ the Bell Rays. The stars, you can go to our website, thebellrays.com. And we're at all of those places. You can see us at all of those places. Thanks, guys. I don't know how to get out of this.
You hit in